स्वामिनि इति नामिनि। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी अष्टप्रदेशतारिणे। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी अशतदिशतारिणी। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्णा Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare बोलो श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरानी यशोदनंदन व्रज यमुना तीर यमुना तीर जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीम् उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। Welcome everyone in Bhagavad Gita class. So last time we have discussed till 4.26. So in 4.26 we have seen about sacrifices by brahmacharis and grihasthas. So sacrifices by brahmacharis and grihasthas are very important in Krishna consciousness. Those who want to live material life as well as, and they want to progress in Krishna consciousness, in bhakti, in devotional service. So brahmacharis follow the they are obedient to their spiritual guru. They perform hearing sacrifice. Only words concerning Krishna consciousness. So they will hear only about Krishna, not more than that. And they will follow the instructions of given by spiritual guru. So they are totally dependent on the instructions of spiritual guru. Especially engaged in fully Hare Namanu Kirtanam. What is that? Hare Namanu Kirtanam? Chanting and hearing the glories of the Lord. So they will always chant the name of Supreme Lord, Supreme Proprietor, Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Okay. So what are the purpose of Varna? Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyasi. And these four Varnas are meant to become perfect yogis or transcendentalists. Okay. So those who want to live material life and they want to progress in Krishna consciousness, they follow these the purpose of Varna. What is that purpose of Varna? Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyasi. Brahmachari restrains himself from vibrations of material sounds. They don't hear at all about the material vibrations. They want to hear only, or they want to engage themselves only hearing about Lord Krishna. They control mind by staying under the care of bona fide spiritual master and abstain from sense gratification. They are not at all interested in material sense gratification. They 24 hours, 365 days, they want to hear about Lord Krishna and they abstain, they uh, keep the distance from material life. Okay. So this brahmachari, the one type of vanana, it helps them to progress in Krishna consciousness. Okay, so hearing is the basic principle of understanding. If you hear, you can understand. If you understand, you can read and you can enhance the knowledge about Krishna consciousness. And sacrifices by grihasthas, what kind of sacrifice they do? They do proper marriage, they perform proper marriage, and the householders who have some license for sense gratification. Okay, so they want to have sense gratification, so they marry properly. There is a method for Vaishnavas in marriage and perform such acts with great restraint. They perform marriage, they get married, and they can have Krishna conscious children. Okay, only that much sex is allowed. So sex life, intoxication, and meat eating are totally regulated, are general tendencies of human society. Regulated householders does not indulge in unrestricted sex life and other sense gratification. Okay, so they are not allowed sex life, but they are allowed for regulated sex life. Regulated sex life means what? They can have Krishna conscious children. Okay, so in this way they can spend their time in grihastha life. Okay, they can perform yajna. It's yajna because the restricted householder sacrifices his general tendency towards sense gratification for higher transcendental life. So this is we have seen in the verse number 4.26. We have discussed about four varnas. What are that four varnas? Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasi. Okay. So, and then chapter number 4, Transcendental Knowledge, verse number 27. Sacrifices by yogis. What kind of sacrifices are performed by yogis? They will see 4.27. सर्वाणि इंद्रिय कर्माणि प्राण कर्माणि चापरे आत्म संयम योगाग्नो जुहवति ज्ञान दीपिते. Others who are interested in achieving self realization through control of the mind and senses offer the functions of all the senses and of the life breath as oblations into the fire of controlled mind. So mystic yogis, they try to control their mind by different yogas, by doing dhyanas. Okay, so they can achieve self realization by controlling their mind. So there are two types of atma: parag atma and pratyag atma, the soul attached to sense enjoyment. So parag atma means the soul which is attached to sense enjoyment, sense gratification. And pratyag atma means the one who has left the sense enjoyment, the soul unattached to sense enjoyment. So there are two kinds of atma: parag atma and pratyag atma. So parag atma, the one, the soul which is attached to sense enjoyment, and pratyag atma, the soul which is unattached to sense enjoyment. Okay, so for yogis, goal of yoga system is for pratyag atma. So they want to control their sex life, they want to control their mind, they want to control their sense enjoyment. How they can do it? By yoga system. So the goal of yoga system is pratyagatma. What is pratyagatma? To control the senses from sense enjoyment. Okay, so what is the principle? The soul is subjected to the functions of 10 kinds of air at work within the body, and this is perceived through the breathing system. So soul consists of 10 kinds of air. Okay, pranavayu, apanayu. Okay, these are the different 10 kinds of vayus. Patanjali system instructs how to control the functions of the body's air in a technical manner, so that ultimately all the functions become favorable for purifying the soul of material attachment. Okay, so there are 10 kinds of air. So how these 10 kinds of air can be controlled to fulfill the goal of yoga system? What is the goal of yoga system? Pratyagatma. What is pratyagatma? To engage the soul in Krishna consciousness, in chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Okay, thinking about Krishna, hearing about Krishna. So that is what controlling the mind by yoga system. So what are the functions of Vayu? Pranavayu. What is Pranavayu? Interaction of senses with sense objects and their engagement in activities outside the self. So in this way you can engage the Pranavayu. Pranavayu means interaction of senses with sense objects and their engagements in activities outside the self. Okay, so Pranavayu means engaging the senses which are outside. Apanavayu, Apanavayu goes downwards. Vyanavayu acts to shrink and expand. Vyan Vayu. Then Saman Vayu adjusts equilibrium. Udan Vayu goes upwards. Okay, so the pranic body, you can see in the slide, they're given one figure. Udan Vayu, Prana Vayu, Saman Vayu, Apan Vayu, and Vyan Vayu pervades the whole body. Vyan Vayu pervades the whole body, acts to shrink and expand. So what happens when one is enlightened? How one will come to know that I am enlightened? Okay, so one engages all these areas in searching for self-realization. So there are 10 kinds of air. These all 10 kinds of air are engaged in search of self-realization. Okay, so overview of prana, all these types of vayu. So main prana, upaprana. Okay, so there are two types of prana: main prana and upaprana. Okay, there are two types. Now, in that, what is the function of vayu? That is prana vayu, udan vayu, saman vayu, vyana vayu, and apan vayu. So there are 5 in main prana and 5 in upaprana. That is naga prana, kurma prana, krikala prana, devadatta prana, dhananjaya prana. Okay, these are the 5 upaprana and 5 main prana. Okay, so now how they function? Okay, overview of prana. So prana vayu, that is part of main vayu, main prana. It is also known as respiratory. Action, what is the action of prana vayu? Controls breathing, intake of vital atmospheric energy. Okay, so prana vayu, so this is a little bit technical. So prana vayu controls breathing. What is the direction? Moves from outside to inside to center of body. So prana vayu is required. It moves from outside to inside. Okay, and it goes into the center of the body. Okay, and what are the different organs which are engaged? Head and chest. Head and chest is required for prana vayu. Okay, and the chakra which is comes under prana vayu is known as anahata. Anahat. Element air vayu. Okay, then next is udan vayu. Udan vayu comes under the nervous system. Okay, and action controls vocal cord and intake of air and food. What is the direction? Moves from inside to outside. Okay, so udan vayu, pran vayu goes from outside to inside, and udan vayu comes from inside to outside, and intake of air and food. Okay, moves from inside to outside, from center of body to head. Okay, and what are the different organs engaged? Throat and brain. In udan vayu, throat and brain are engaged. And what is the chakra? This is called Vishuddhi chakra. The first one is Anahata chakra in Pranavayu, and Udan Vayu, it is known as Vishuddhi chakra. Okay, which is the element involved? Ether Akash. Ether element. Ether is an element, also known as Akash. Then third one is Saman Vayu. Saman Vayu is the part of digestive system. Okay, stokes the gastric acids, aids digestion, integrates whole body. So Saman Vayu is the part of digestive system. Okay, and what is the direction? Along the center of the body. Saman Vayu, it performs the action of equilibrium. Okay, so along the center of the body, direction is along the center of the body. And what are the organs? Where it is performed? Where it is acted? In stomach. And what is the chakra? Manipura. Manipura chakra. It's known as Manipura chakra, Saman Vayu. And fire. What is the element? Fire. In for digestive system, fire is required. Okay, Agni. Without Agni, digestive system cannot work. So then the fourth one, Vyana Vayu. Vyana Vayu is the part of circulatory system. For circulation, Vyana Vayu is required. Okay, what is the action? Pervades the entire body, distributing the energies through nadis. arteries, and veins. Okay, so Vyan Vayu pervades the entire body, distributes the energies through nadis, arteries, veins. Okay. What is the direction? Circulates throughout the body. Vyan Vayu is circulated throughout the body. Organs all over the body. Vyan Vayu works under all over the body, especially near skin. Vyan Vayu is especially used near the skin. What is the chakra? Swadhisthana. Swadhisthana. This is known as Swadhisthana chakra. What is the element used in this? Water. Jal. Jal is an element. Water is an element which is used in Vyan Vayu. Then the last one of the main prana is Apan Vayu. Okay, it is the part of excretory system. Elimination of semen, feces, urine, all these are part of Apan Vayu. And Apan Vayu moves downwards. Okay, what are the organs involved in this? Lower abdomen and surroundings. Okay, what is the chakra? Mooladhara. Okay, and in this, earth is involved. What is the element involved? Earth, Prithvi. Then, Up Prana. Up Prana, Nagavayu, Kurmavayu, Krikalavayu, Devadattavayu, Dhananjayavayu. So, out of these, Nagavayu, what is the action of Nagavayu? Regulates burping. Okay, little above the navel. What are the organs involved in this Naga? Little above the navel. Then Kurma Vayu governs blinking. Okay, what is the action of Kurma Vayu? Governs blinking in the eyelids. Okay, eyelids blink. So it is a part of Kurma Vayu. Krikala. Krikala, what is the action? Governs sneezing. Okay, Krikala is the action of Krikala is governs sneezing, through which we sneeze. And what is the organ involved above the stomach and the edges of the trachea? Okay, above the edges of the trachea. Then Devadatta controls yawning. This is also one kind of Vayu. Devadatta controls yawning when you yawn. Okay, upper end of trachea and in throat. And in throat. Then last type of Vayu, that is part of Upaprana Vayu, is Dhananjaya Vayu. Controls the functioning of the heart valves. So Dhananjaya kind of Vayu controls the functioning of the heart valves. Okay, what is the organ involved? In the bones, flesh, skin, blood, receptor, sensors, and hair, etc. Okay, these are the different organs involved in Dhananjaya Vayu. So what is the function of Dhananjaya Vayu? Controls the functioning of the heart valve. Okay, this is the 4.27. Then 4.28 talks about other sacrifices: Dravya Yagya, Tapah Yagya, Yoga Yagya, Swadhyaya Yagya. Okay, so we have discussed about different kinds of, we are discussing about different kinds of sacrifices. Now the next type of other types of sacrifices are Dravya Yagya, which is Dravya Yagya is related with the of charity. Tapah Yagya, austerities. Yoga Yagya, mystic yoga. Swadhyaya Yagya, reading the scriptures. Okay, then 4.28 we'll see. द्रव्ययज्ञास्तपो यज्ञा योगयज्ञास्तथा परे स्वाध्याययज्ञा स्वाध्याय ज्ञान यज्ञाश्च यतयः संसितव्रताः. Having accepted strict vows, some become enlightened by sacrificing their possessions, and others by performing severe austerity. By practicing the yoga of eightfold mysticism or by studying the Vedas to advance in transcendental knowledge. So these are the different sacrifices. Dravya yagya, related with charity. Tapah yagya, austerity. Yoga yagya, mystic yoga, eightfold yoga system. Swadhyaya yagya, reading the scriptures. So we should all read the scriptures daily on daily basis. Okay, we should read Bhagavad Gita. We should read Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay, there are so many scriptures written by Srila Prabhupada. So Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We should all read the scriptures written by Srila Prabhupada. Okay, Srila Prabhupada has rightly said that I'm not living this world. I am there in the form of my books. So if you are reading my books, I will be there in front of you. Okay. So all these yogis are faithfully engaged in different types of sacrifice and are seeking a higher status of life. So who performs all these sacrifices? Yogis. Okay, so there are different types of yogis. Some perform Drabya Yagya, some perform Tapah Yagya, some perform Yoga Yagya, some perform Swadhyaya Yagya. Okay, so many types of sacrifices. So any type of sacrifice you are performing, you are yogi. So all these yogis are faithfully engaged in different types of sacrifice and are seeking a higher status of life. Okay. Now the first one is Drabhyamaya. Okay. So what is the Drabhyamaya? Sacrificing their possessions in the form of various kind of charities. So whatever you possess, suppose you have wealth, suppose you have property, you are a proprietor. Okay. You have so many things to give in charity. So you can give in charity. Suppose you have a part of land, you can give in charity for the construction of temple. You have wealth, you can donate in the temple. Okay, so for the service of Lord Krishna, for the service of deities which are there in the temple. Okay, so that is known as Drabyamaya Yajna. Okay, sacrificing their possessions in the form of various kinds of charity. Open various kinds of charitable institutions like Dharmashala, Anna Kshetra, Atithi Sala, Anathalaya, and Vidyapitha. Okay, open many hospitals, old age homes, and similar charitable foundations meant for distributing food, education, and medical treatment free to the poor. So these are kind of dravyamaya yajna. So this is also one kind of sacrifice. So whatever you have, suppose you have wealth, you can contribute in the service of Lord Krishna. You have a land, you can contribute in the service of Lord Krishna. Okay, you can open hospitals, you can construct temple, you can donate to temple in the service of deities. Okay. Then we have Tapomaya Yajna. Okay, Tapomaya Yajna, this is for austerities, performing austerity, for higher elevation in life or for promotion to higher planets within the universe. Voluntarily accept many kinds of austerity such as Chandrayana and Chaturmasya. Performing austerities, keeping fast, uh, uh, following the Chaturmasya. Chaturmasya is the very famous austerity which is performed for 4 months. Okay, okay. So for higher elevation in life or for promotion to higher planets within the universe, these process entail savior vows, rigid rules, and sacrifice comforts of life. So in Chaturmasya, many people follow many kinds of different kinds of sacrifices. Some people eat one time, some people eat two times. Okay, some people eat only fruit, some people eat only will take only milk one time. Okay, and there are different kinds of sacrifices. How much you can contribute, it depends on you. So it differs from person to person. So these processes entail savior vows, rigid rules. Okay, they will not sit on chair, they will always sit on the ground. They will take prasadam without any plate on the uh, surface. They will take the prasadam. Okay, and so there are so many kinds of sacrifices under the chaturmas vow. The candidate does not save for 4 months, no saving for 4 months during the year July to October. He doesn't eat certain foods, does not eat twice in a day, or does not leave home. He will not come out of the home. He will there for 4 months in the home only. Okay. So there are different kinds of Tapoma Yajna. Then comes Yoga Yajna, mystic yogas. He engages themselves in different kinds of mystic yogas, like the Patanjali system for merging into the existence of the Absolute, or Hatha Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga for particular perfections. Okay, they will perform the eightfold yoga system, and some travel to all the sanctified places of pilgrimage. These are sacrifices for a certain type of perfection in the material world. Okay. Okay, they will start visiting different temples, different uh, char dhama yatra. They will go to, so these are comes under yoga yajna. Then comes the final swadhyaya yajna. Swadhyaya yajna engage reading the scriptures, engage themselves in studies of different Vedic literatures, especially the Upanishads and Vedanta Sutras or the Sankhya philosophy. Okay, they will read lot of books, lot of scriptures, lot of literatures written by acharyas. Okay, Krishna consciousness is transcendental. It is direct service of the Supreme Lord. So Krishna consciousness is different from all these yajnas. How it is different? They will engage in the service of spiritual guru. They will engage in themselves in the service of Lord Krishna. They will associate with devotees. They will serve Vaishnavas. Okay, they will distribute the books. They will preach. Okay, they will listen Bhagavad Gita. They will preach Bhagavad Gita. Okay, Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. So it is direct service of the Supreme Lord, can only be attained by mercy of the Lord and his bona fide devotees. Okay, so how the mercy of devotees can be obtained? By the service of the devotees. By the mercy of the devotees, only you will be able to serve Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna is more happy if you are serving his devotees. This is the verse number 28. It is, we have discussed where all 4 5 kinds of sacrifices. Then sacrifices by yogis, Hatha Yoga and Pranayama. Okay, so we'll discuss about what are the different sacrifices done by yogis in verse number 29. 4.29. 4.29. अपाने जुहवति प्राणम प्राणे पानम तथा परे प्राणापानगतिरुद्ध्वा प्राणायाम परायणाः अपरे नियतः अपरे नियताहाराः प्राणान् प्राणेषु जुह्वति. Okay, so still others who are inclined to the process of breathe restraint to remain in trance, practice by offering the movement of the outgoing breath into coming and the incoming breath into the outgoing, and thus at last remain in trance, stopping all breathing others, curtailing the eating process, offering the outgoing breath into itself as a sacrifice. So they perform all the sacrifices performed by yogis is discussed over here. That is Hatha Yoga and Pranayama, where you inhale and exhale in pranayama. Okay, so in pranayama, in the beginning, practiced as Hatha Yoga, different postures. Okay, different postures of the body, the Surya Namaskar and all. Okay, so system of yoga for controlling breathing process. So what is pranayama? System of yoga for controlling the breathing process, where you inhale, you exhale. Okay, you stop your breathing. If you inhale, you stop, you exhale, you stop. Okay, so this is the incoming and outgoing of the breathing process. Okay, that is known as pranayama. So goal of pranayama and Hatha Yoga is to control the senses. What is the goal? To control the senses. Okay, so if you are performing Krishna consciousness, the main part is controlling the senses. So there are different sacrifices are made for that. Some are performing different Dravyamaya Yagya, Tapamaya Yagya, different kinds of sacrifices. Some are performing eightfold yoga system, mysticism, then Hatha Yoga system. Then some are performing pranayam. Okay, there are different kinds. These are the different sacrifices. Okay, these are the different sacrifices. So why these sacrifices are performed? To control the mind. So how to practice pranayam? How we can control the senses? So senses, if you are controlling the senses, increase longevity. So if you are able to control senses, it increase the longevity. Yogis wants to achieve spiritual perfection in one life only. Therefore, needs increased lifespan for perfection in spiritual realization. Okay, so by using pranayam system, by performing hatha yoga system, the different postures of body, they can increase the life. So yogis want to get self realization in one life only. So for that purpose, they perform hatha yoga system, they perform pranayam. Okay. Huh? So this process helps them to control the mind, and by controlling the mind, they can advance into spiritual advancement. Okay. So why pranayama is performed? This practice involves controlling the airs within the body so as to reverse the directions of their passage. Okay. If the vayu is going out, they will do out and they will stop for some time. Okay, that is called exhale. And if the vayu is coming inside, they will inhale and they will stop for some time. Okay, so this is a good practice of pranayama. So apan vayu goes downwards, pran vayu goes upwards, purak vayu, that is saman vayu, it maintain the equilibrium state, rechak vayu offering the exhaled breath into the inhaled breath. Okay. Kumbhak Yoga, when both air currents are completely stopped. Kumbhak Yoga. Then by Kumbhaka Yoga, one can increase lifespan. Okay. So when suppose these both inhale and exhale are stopped for some time, so by this they can increase their life. Okay. Lifespan. So Krishna consciousness is totally different from all these kinds of sacrifices. So Krishna consciousness is direct service to the Supreme Lord. Automatically controls all the senses by engaging in Krishna consciousness activity. Okay. For example, you are offering bhoga. So if you are offering bhoga, it means you are automatically you are controlling tongue your tongue. So if you are offering the food, it is sanctified, and when you eat, by eating offered food to Supreme Lord, you can control the mind. So it automatically control all the senses by engaging in Krishna consciousness activity by offering bhoga. Being constantly engaged in Krishna consciousness activities naturally transfer to Krishna Loka at death. Okay, if you are all the time you are thinking about Krishna, you are talking about Krishna, you are discussing, you are listening, you are hearing, you are preaching, you are distributing books, whatever, your Krishna consciousness will automatically develop. So at the time of death, you will be able to remember Krishna. So Krishna says, if you remember me at the time of death, automatically you will attain my abode. Okay, so therefore no need to increase longevity. Okay. So if you remember me 24 hours, 7 days, 365 days, okay, automatically at the time of death you will remember me. So there is no need to perform yoga system to increase the longevity of span of life. So by devotional service, one immediately transcends the modes and elevates to spiritual kingdom. Okay, it is rightly mentioned in 14.26. Okay, what is 14.26? Mamuchayo vyavicaren bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samtitayetan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Okay, one who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. So in 4.26, it is already said the one who is already chanting, engaged in Krishna conscious service, serving devotees, serving Krishna, distributing books, preaching, hearing, listening, Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, will attain my abode. At the time of death, he will be able to remember me, and if he able to remember me, he will attain my abode. मामचा यो व्यभिचारेण भक्ति योगेन सेवते ता गुणान समितयायावान ब्रह्म भूयाय कल्पते. That is said in 14.26. Then Krishna consciousness can only be attained by the mercy of a devotee. Okay, so if you want to get success in Krishna consciousness, you want to achieve Krishna, you should serve devotees, you should associate with devotees. Okay, okay. Krishna consciousness cannot be attained by the sacrifices mentioned earlier. Okay, so Krishna consciousness is little bit different from all the sacrifices. From all the sacrifices, you may be able to control the mind, but it may fluctuate also in future. But if you are performing Krishna consciousness, you are associating with devotees, serving Lord Krishna, okay, involved in book distribution, preaching, hearing, listening Bhagavatam. So what will happen? Your consciousness will build, and you will think about Krishna all the time. If you remember, if you are thinking Krishna all time in all your activity, you will be away from three modes of material nature. So what is three modes of material nature? That is goodness, passion, ignorance. There will be no, it will not affect you. There will be no effect of these three modes of material nature on you if you are in Krishna consciousness. Okay, so that is very important. So this is the 4th point. So what is the overview of Ashtanga Yoga, Patanjali Yoga system? So we'll discuss that. So Hatha Yoga and Sanyamya. Okay, so these are the 8-fold yoga system. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. These are the 8-fold yoga system known as 8-fold yoga system. What is the Hatha Yoga system? 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the Hatha, and 5, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are known as Sanyam. Okay, so 5 restraints. 5 restraints. That is, in Yama there are 5 restraints: Ahimsa, non-hurting; Satya, non-lying; Asteya, non-stealing; Brahmacharya, sensory control; Aparigraha, non-possessiveness. Aparigraha means non-possessiveness. Nothing belongs to me. Everything belongs to Krishna. So these are the 5 restraints can be done by Yama. Okay. Then what is 5 observances? That comes under Niyama. That is Saucha, purity; Santosha, contentment; Tapas, austerity; Swadhyay, study; Ishvara, pranidhana, surrender. Okay. The Kriya Yoga. Kriya Yoga, the Tapas, Swadhyaya and Ishvara pranidhana, these are part of Kriya Yoga. Okay. And then comes Asana. There are different poses of Asana. Asana poses. Okay. That is known as Asana. Then Pranayam, the control of vital force, that is Prana, Apana, Samana, Udana, Vyana. That is known as Pranayam. Okay. Inhaling, part of inhaling and exhaling. Okay. Then comes Pratyahara. What is Pratyahara? Withdrawal of the senses. Withdrawal of the Pratyahara means withdrawal of the senses. Then Dharana, concentration. Concentrating. Sit at one place and try to concentrate on particular light, particular object. So lotus feet of Supreme Lord. So that is known as Dharana. Dhyana is meditation. Meditation. Okay. Samadhi, spiritual absorption. So Samadhi is the final stage of yoga system. This is known as 8-fold yoga system. Okay, that is Hatha Yoga and Sanyamya. So this is known as Ashtanga Yoga, Patanjali Yoga system, 8-fold yoga system. attainment of various siddhis. Okay, what is that Ashta Siddhi and Siddhi is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. What is Ashta Siddhi and Siddhi is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam? We'll discuss over here. Anima. Ashta Siddhi means primary 8 Siddhis and Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Okay, 8 Siddhis Patanjali Yoga Sutra. What is Patanjali Yoga Sutra? That is 8 Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Anima, Mahima, Garima, Laghima, Prapti, Prakamya, Isitva, Vasistva. Vasitva. Okay, so what is Anima? Reducing one's body even to the size of an atom. Okay, like Hanumanji has done many times. Okay, so reducing one's body like an size of an atom. Mahima, expanding one's body to infinitely large size. Garima, becoming infinitely heavy. Garima. Okay, Garima means heavy, becoming infinitely heavy. Then Laghima, becoming almost weightless. Laghima, become almost weightless. Prapti, having unrestricted access to all places. Okay, where you can everything, so you can obtain everything. So presence of at everything, every places. Okay, so having unrestricted access to all places. Then prakamya, realizing whatever one desires. Okay, you can understand whatever one is thinking. That is called prakamya. Then ishitva, possessing absolute lordship. Ishitva. Okay. Then vasitva, domination over the entire creation. Okay, you can dominate the entire creation. There is one vasitva. These are the 8 Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Anima, Gahima, Mahima, Anima, Mahima, Garima, Laghima, Prapti, Prakamya, Isitva and Vasitva. These are the 8 Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Then comes Siddhi, mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. Trikala Sattvam, Advandvam, Parachitta Adi, Abhij Satta, Apara Jayasa. Okay, Agni Arga Ambu Vis Adinam Pratishta Ambah. Okay, so these are the Siddhis mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. What is Trikala Sattvam? Knowing the past, present and future. Trikala, that is present, past, future. So knowing about all present, past and future is known as Trikala. Then Advandvam. Advandvam means tolerance of heat, cold and other dualities. Advandvam means no two, no duality. So tolerance of heat, cold and other dualities. Parachit Adi Abhi Sat, knowing the minds of others. Parachit Adi Abhi Sat. Okay. Then Aparajaya, remaining unconquered by others. Aparajaya. Aparajaya means remaining unconquered by others. Agni Arka Ambu Visa Adinam Pratistambha. Okay, checking the influence of fire, sun, water, poison. Okay, Agni Arka Ambu Visa Adinam Pratistambha. Okay, these are the primary siddhis. Then secondary siddhis are Anurmi Matvam, Durasravana, Manah Javah, Duradarsanam, Kamarupam, Parakya Praveshanam, Swachand Mrityu, Devanam Sah Krida, Anudarsanam, Yath Sankalpa Samsiddhi, Agya Apratihata Gatiha. Okay. Anuri Matvam, undisturbed by hunger, thirst, and other bodily disturbances. Anurimi Matvam means no effect of hunger, thirst, and all. Dura Sravanam, hearing things far away. Okay, you can hear the things which is happening very far from you. Okay, dura sramana. Then manah javah, moving the body wherever thought goes. Okay, astral projection, manah javah, moving the body as per requirement wherever you wish. Dur darsanam, seeing things far away. Kama rupam, assuming any form desired. Okay, assuming any form desired, you can take any form. Parak Parakaya praveshnam, entering the body of others. You can enter into others' body. Swachand mrityu, dying when one desires. Devanam sah krida anudarshanam, witnessing and participating in the pastimes of gods. Devanam sah krida anudarshanam, witnessing and participating in the pastimes of God. Okay. यथा संकल्प समसिद्धि, perfect accomplishment of one's determination. यथा संकल्प समसिद्धि, perfect accomplishment of one's determination. अज्ञ अप्रतिहता गति, orders or commands being impeded, unimpeded. Okay? So these are the different secondary siddhis. Then navasiddhis, type of wealth. पारकय प्रवेश, हाड़ी विद्या, काड़ी विद्या, वायुगमन सिद्धि, मदालस विद्या, कन कनक धारा सिद्धि, प्रज्ञ साधना, सूर्य विज्ञान, and mrit sanjeevani vidya. So these are the different nava siddhis, type of wealth. So these are the type of wealth. So what is parakaya pravesh? One's soul entering into the body sensorium of some other person or animal of bird. Through this knowledge, even a dead body can be brought to life. Okay, parakaya pravesh. Okay, one soul entering into the body. Okay, parakaya pravesh. Parakaya pravesh. Okay, you are entering into others body, that is parakaya pravesh. Hadi vidya. On acquiring this vidya, a person feels neither hunger nor thirst and can remain without eating food or drinking water for several days at a stretch. Okay, the one who has knowledge of this Hadi Vidya can remain fast for many days. Okay, he can control on his nadi. Okay, then Kali Vidya, person is not affected by change of seasons, that is by summer, winter, rain, etc. Person shall not feel cold even if he sits in the snow mountains and shall not feel hot even if he sits on the fire. Kali Vidya. So there is no effect of winter, summer, any season, rain. Vayu Gaman Siddhi, person become capable of flying in the skies and traveling from one place to another in just a few seconds. Okay, the person who can have vidya of Vayu Vidya, so he can capable of flying in the skies. Okay. Then Madalasa Vidya, person becomes capable of increasing or decreasing the size of his body. Okay. According to his wish, Hanuman had minimized his body while entering the city of Lanka. So he just became very small. Okay. He reduced his size of body very small so that he can enter into Lanka. Because Lankani was giving the uh, she was doing the paharadari. Okay. So Kanak Dhara Siddhi, one can acquire immense and unlimited wealth through this Siddhi. Okay, Kanak Dhara Siddhi. One can acquire lot of wealth by this Vidya. Then Prakya Visadhana, yogi can direct his disciple to take birth from the womb of a woman who is childless or cannot bear children. Prakya Sadhana. So this is known as yogis can order their disciples go and take birth from the particular womb of from the particular woman. Okay. Then Surya Vigyan, this solar science is one of the most significant sciences. Using it, one substance can be transformed into another through the medium of sun rays. Okay, one substance can be transferred from one form to another form by using the sun Vigyan, Surya Vigyan. Then last one is Mrita Sanjeevani Vidya. Through this knowledge, even a dead person can be brought back to life. So if you have the knowledge of Mrita Sanjeevani Vidya, you can bring back the life of into a body. Okay, this is the Nava Siddhi, okay, Ashta Siddhi and different Siddhis, primary and secondaries. Okay. Summary of different sacrifices that leads to transcendental knowledge from verse number 25 to 29. Okay. There are different types of sacrifices. In first verse number 25, demigod worship is discussed, where sacrifice into Brahman leads to sacrifice into Brahman. Then verse number 26 discusses about unadulterated brahmachari, hearing process and senses in the fire of mental control. Okay, so they can have a regulated grihastha's life, objects of senses in the fire of senses. Okay, so grihasthas, they sacrifice their senses. Then verse number 27, 4.27, talks about Ashtanga Yoga, Patanjali Yoga system, eightfold mystic yoga. Then verse number 28 talks about charity, that is Dravamaya Yajna, austerity, Tapamaya Yajna, Yoga Yajna, sacrifice for a certain perfection in material world, then study of scriptures, Swadhyaya. Then verse number 29 talks about Hatha Yoga and Pranayama. Okay? So they can, by using Hatha Yoga, they can control the mind and they can take the darshan of Supreme Lord Krishna. Then verse number 4.30, we'll see next time. So we'll stop over here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. If anyone who has any question can ask. Okay, so no question. So we'll stop over here. Thank you very much for listening. Bhagavad Gita. Okay. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यः वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः.